Hello everyone, today's story is going to be called Smokey the Bear in the Haunted Cabin. So, I was Smokey the Bear, just by the way. But before I tell you that story, I need to tell you another story just so you can understand the Smokey the Bear story. So, first off, I was working for the Forest Service in Kamloops, Utah, which was an internship summer of 2010. So, Kamloops, Utah is almost going towards Wyoming, the northeastern part of Utah. And actually, 3 or 4 days after I got there, it snowed, and I didn't have a car, so I had to walk through snow. And that was a crazy side story. Anyways, so I was gonna tell you, I didn't have a bike there, and they were kind of expensive to buy. I was kind of saving money, but I did have a skateboard over there. So I don't think longboards were like a style at the time over there, but I like skateboarding just because it was like my way of replacing a bicycle. Anyway, so I would skate a lot during my time off in Kamloops, Utah. It was like a little neighborhood. Comment down below if you've been there. I like going to the grocery store because it had, well, I mean, it was, you can just walk over there, so that was pretty cool. Anyway, so I was skateboarding one day where I usually go, and this time I'm thinking I'm gonna hit that ramp, and it wasn't a skate park or anything, but it was this road that had a big dip, not a dip, but like a hill, and it looked really steep, and I'm thinking, you know, well, if that comes to worse, I'll fall, but I'm not gonna hurt myself a whole lot. And so I'm going down this hill, and I'm recording this as well. If I had the same camera, I would have definitely shared it. But I'm recording this, going down the hill, and as I'm going down the hill, like you see me kind of struggle. It goes faster, and it goes bumpier, and then before you know it, you just see the clouds. So yeah, I don't fall. Like I fall off the skateboard because it's going fast, but I don't fall on my knees or on my hands. I just like jump out of the board and run. And while that happens, for some reason, I lose my glasses. This was 2010, 9 years ago, so it's been a while since kind of the same thing happened. If you haven't seen my paddleboard story, kind of the same thing happens. But so my glasses fall off, and I'm left with my spare glasses. But my spare glasses are only dark. They're prescription, but they're sunglasses, and those are the only spare I had. So okay, so that's gonna help you later in this story. Anyways, so back to Smokey the Bear in the Haunted Cabin. So the not the profile picture, but the main picture when you click on this video, that was me, and I was on my way to the cabin. Now where the cabin was, that's where I was presenting something. It wasn't a presentation. Someone else was presenting, and then I was gonna be Smokey the Bear, and I was just gonna be there saying hi and things like that. It was about, you know, being safe in the campgrounds, you know, turning off your fire pit and everything. So, so that I was going that way, and I see this car behind me. Was it no? It was, yeah. It was ahead of me. It was the car you see when you click this video, old fashioned, and he happened to go where I was going. So when I go there, you know, I put on my Smokey the Bear suit. The rule was to not talk to anyone while I'm in the costume. So this costume was big. It wasn't hot to be inside. Well, not because it was cold in Utah at the time. I mean, probably in the 60s since you're up in the mountains, so it wasn't that hot to be in the suit. But that was a rule. You can't talk to anyone. And this guy was super excited. I wish I had more pictures, but he's like, "Oh yeah, take a picture next to my car, and take a picture like right next to the other side of the car, and then the back side of the car." And he wanted me to go inside the car, and you know, just take a picture like that. But someone else was with me. Like, no, I don't think he fits, and I don't think I would have fit. I think I would have been too tall for that car. I'm like 5'11" ish. But I think we took about like 4 or 5 pictures. It was pretty cool, and as you can see, this picture itself is pretty cool. So that was pretty much before the presentation. I have a picture actually of the lake. I'm gonna show it to you really quick. Hold on. It's right. I have all these random pictures. Look, this was in Oklahoma. um, but I have this picture of Kamas. Well, it wasn't Kamas, Utah. It was in Mirror Lake. Kamas, Utah was about 45 miles south. Almost there. Oh, I guess I don't have it. Sorry. And so what happened? So I go to the presentation where someone else is presenting, and it goes pretty good. Like everyone loves me, like little kids, adults, like senior people. Like everyone's just like, oh, that Smokey the Bear is pretty cool, and I'm just there having a good time. So the presentation went well. After the presentation, what happened was I was getting not undressed, just like out of the costume because I was dressed inside, and as I'm getting undressed, I almost take off my head. I have a picture of Smokey the Bear without the head, and it was me, but I don't have it accessible right now. Anyways, as I'm getting my costume off, I hear Renee, because I mean someone was talking to me as I'm getting the costume off, but I hear Renee from a distance. It was a young lady, I mean mid-20s, mid-30s, and I was like, who's calling me? Who's calling me? And so I didn't take off my head, and she's like, "Oh, you're so awesome," and she gave me a hug, and I wish I would have said something because I don't know, it feels good to be appreciated, but I still had that you can't talk while you're in your costume for some reason. So I didn't say anything, and after the hug, she's like, "I love you," and I just I was smiling inside the costume, but she couldn't see me, and I didn't say anything, and she just like ran off. But that was awesome. Like that was like, oh, I wish I would have said hi and taken her number or something. but but that was awesome. So afterwards, I'm supposed to stay in that cabin, which is, like I said, the cabin is an hour from the bunkhouse. The bunkhouse is where I stay, where I'm staying for the summer because it's an internship. So they gave me like a lantern. It's like the electricity works inside the cabin. Where the cabin was, it's it was more or less close to other campsites. So I wasn't camping, but and at the same time there was people around me. There was like other cabins, so I wasn't completely desolate, but it was like out in the middle of the forest, because I'm camping, and yeah, so it's this cabin. I was gonna sleep alone, so I was a little scared. I turn off the cabin, and then it gets a little scary. I remember drinking water and then going to bed, and I hear like these footsteps, and I'm getting more scared. So I turn on the lantern, and I see my cup of water is in a different area than where I put it at. So I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this. Hell no. So I just packed my things and left. So I started driving to the bunkhouse. But like I said earlier, the only glasses I had was the dark sunglasses, prescription sunglasses. So I'm driving like 25, 30 miles an hour. As it is, you can't drive fast because you're in the mountains. So there's like curves everywhere. In Europe, like 12,000 feet. Like kind of the city was about 10,000 feet. So you're up there, and I saw some deer and elk like on the side of the road because there was like this stream. So that was pretty good. That was pretty nice. I mean, and there were about 6 of them. So that was really nice. Like it's like free scenic view, and you don't have to go to the zoo or anything. They're just right there. And it took me. It probably took me like at least 90 minutes, if not 2 hours, to get back home. And I want to tell you this other short story because it correlates with this one. I mean, because pretty much what happened after I got in the cabin, I mean, I took water, I went to bed, and then I heard footsteps, and I'm like, I'm getting out of here. It was scary. There was like no sound except those footsteps. So, and I was the only one sleeping there. So I was scared. I mean, I guess I get scared easily. So I'm gonna tell you this little story just really quick. So my freshman year in college, which was before this happened actually, because this was 2010. My freshman year was 2009. I I have this candle, and it was around Halloween season in October, because it was a fall. And I have this candle. It's purple, like, well, not purple, but the glass is purple. And I go to like side not a sidewalk, but a little bike trail. I mean, people can walk there too. The like the road isn't too big, and there's like a stream by the trail, and there's picnic tables as well. So my plan was to, instead of studying in the library where it's boring and you get sleepy, I'm like, I'm gonna study outside. So I bring my candle, and I go to the trail, and I sit down in the picnic table. I start studying. The candle's right there. I study for about maybe 2 minutes, maybe at tops 5 minutes, and I hear this noise. Like, what is that? What is that? And there's like no one there. So I just take my books, take my candle, and I start running to the dorms, because they were pretty close. Like, from the trail to the dorms, it was pretty close. So I just start running there, and my friend's like, well, "Are you okay? Where are you coming from?" He's like, "Well, I was sitting over there with a candle, but I got scared, so I came over here." And yeah, I just had to tell you that because it correlates with the Smokie the Bear story, where I just go in, take a drink of water, go to bed, and I'm like, never mind, this is too scary. So that was the Smokie the Bear story. That I was there in Utah 2 months. I came back like in August. But yeah, let me know if you want to know anything else about Utah or anything. But that's my Smokie the Bear story. I'm not gonna keep you long. So hope you have a great day, and go camping. Don't forget to put out your fires. See you later.